Hi, welcome back to CJ's Kitchen. This week my new treats box came, and this time it is treats from South Africa, and it came with a picture of Cape Town. So it mentions that having been colonized by the British back in 1815, there are many aspects of South African culture that are influenced by the English. So there's expected to be a mix of treats in here, some of which may have had heavy British influence. So because we're on month 5 of receiving this subscription box, I'm going to skip the unboxing piece. I've already opened it, I've already severed the tissue, and so we can jump right in. So right away, we have a really great variety of snacks. There are chips, there are some things that look like cookies. These are definitely cookies. There are candy bars. This one's clearly a candy bar. So it looks right off the bat like we have a really great mix. So we're just going to dig right in. So the first thing I'm picking is Flings. And this says that they are corn snacks. It says original flavor maize snacks, so that would be corn. Interestingly, I think everything in here has English on it for writing. And so there we have it. It's a little puffed corn snack, just like a puffy Cheeto. Here we go again. It's really light. It has a nice, delicate crunch, but it also almost wants to melt in your mouth on contact. It doesn't have a lot of strong flavors. It's lightly seasoned, not super salty. That's great. Just got a really simple, light corn flavor. I think it tastes like I would expect a Cheeto to taste if it didn't have the cheese. So it just has a light corn flavor to it. So next I'm going to try this honey almond nougat, and it feels kind of hard, so and firm. It is cold here. We've been having snow and very low temperatures for our region. It's typically really mild here, and we've had actually below freezing temperatures. It was snowing outside a few minutes ago when I checked, and so that's probably really affected the candies and things in here. I'm actually having a really hard time unwrapping it. So sadly, this nougat candy is completely sticking to the wrapper, and I just cannot get the candy itself exposed. The paper's ripping off in little tiny bits, and I think it's just a lost cause, so I'll have to try that later. We'll just move on to another piece of candy. So next I have a familiar brand. This is Nestle, and this is called Tex. And this says that it's rich, creamy Nestle milk chocolate with arrow center and filled biscuit wafers. So I'm guessing that means it's going to be like the Arrow bars that we had from England, but with a wafer cookie inside. And there it is. So let's give it a taste. Manja. Now here's what it looks like inside. It's pretty thick. I don't know if you can pick up on how thick that is. That's pretty thick for a candy bar. So, and I'm sorry, I'm in my office today, so I've got the camera kind of far away from me just because there's so much stuff in the office. Anyway, it has a nice crunch. As predicted, the center bit of chocolate is the Arrow style, and so it's got a lot of air bubbles in it. Very similar to the Arrow bar, very creamy. The wafers are really crunchy. It's a very sweet bar. I kind of wish it had some nuts or something in it, but it's very nice. Let's see how this one goes. This is called Fizzer, and it doesn't say a whole lot on the packaging. In fact, it's got a lot of barcodes on it. The wrapper is almost covered with barcodes, but it feels like a Laffy Taffy style candy. And there we go. It's indeed a taffy style candy. I'm going to cut a piece off with a knife. Oh, and it's rock hard, again, probably because of the cold weather here. So I'm just going to try this little piece. Manja. I think it might be apple flavor. Be careful of your dental work if you have any. While I'm chewing on it, I'm going to see if I can figure out a thing or two about it. It says cream soda. It's made by a company called Beacon, and it changes its texture based on temperature. We certainly notice that. When chilled, it's hard, brittle, and fizzy. When warm, it's softer, loses some of its fizz, but it's easier to eat. I am getting a little fizz, but not very much. Certainly nothing like some of the other fizzy candies that I've had in the box. But the flavor's not bad. It's kind of sweet. Actually, I take back what I said about apple. I think it tastes more like a lemon lime soda. Is actually much more accurate description. Let's go back to savory. I see that actually there's a couple other cookies, but that's okay. I'm going to go to these mini cheddars. So these are cheese flavored snacks, and they look like they're just simple baked crackers. Just going to cut it open with my trusty scissors. And there's what they look like inside the package. They're little round crackers. They look kind of like a Ritz cracker, but they're small. You can see that they're just barely bigger than my finger. A little bit bigger than the size of a quarter. Those are lovely. They have a really light, buttery texture with a nice crunch. They're super fresh, and they do taste like cheddar, and it's a subtle cheddar flavor. So it's not a, I really love Cheez-Its, but it's not that same really, really strong flavor. It's a little more delicate. This would be really nice as a cracker to have with things on top, like ham or summer sausage or something like that. Very nice. I really like those. Now we're going to try this. Sanho Valsa. And it doesn't say much. I guess this isn't so much English. I should have just left my glasses on. I always end up wanting to read the packaging. I actually don't see this item on the card, and that's a first. I think every time everything's been on the card, but this seems to be missing. I definitely don't see it listed. Well, so let's see what it is. There we go. Okay, so it looks like a chocolate bonbon. This reminds me a little bit of a Ferrero Rocher without all the nuts on the outside. It's got multiple layers inside. There's like a kind of the chocolate layer, and then a cookie layer, and then this creamy, kind of creamy center layer. It's got a crunch to it. I guess that's that second layer. Sort of a nougat or a fondant filling. It almost tastes like caramel, but it's so light. It reminds me of some of the candies you get from the candy shops. So it's more, I guess a cream filling would be maybe more accurate. And then I don't know what that crunchy layer is, but it is overall a very nice texture. Let's try one of the cookies. So we have these mini tennis biscuits, which look like a shortbread type cookie or biscuit. Oh, and these are also really tiny. Let's see if we can get that on the camera. So they're just teeny tiny little biscuits. They have a nice design stamped on the outside. I taste coconut. They're coconut. They taste like toasted coconut. So very much like a shortbread cookie, but with this coconut flavor. These also are very delightful. These would be fabulous with some tea or coffee. Yum. This is a Wonder Bar. Milk. So this is made by a company called Beacon, and it says they are pocket-sized bars made with rich milk chocolate. They are smooth in texture and taste, and the Wonder Bar is simple, classic, and absolutely delicious. Let's find out. It's pretty sweet. It is a creamy milk chocolate, and it's just solid chocolate throughout. Very nice, but that's pretty good. I like it. This candy bar next, the TV, it says tropical coconut, crispy rice puffs in smooth milk chocolate. That sounds pretty good. And this is a pretty dense, heavy bar. And there it is. This isn't the best setup. Anyway, I'm going to cut a piece off of this one. And there it is inside. So you can see the Rice Krispies in there. I'm not getting much of the coconut flavor, but it has the really airy texture, almost like the Aero bar, which is probably created more from having all these little crispy treats in there. It's a pretty delicate bar, and there's little air pockets forming around those crispy treats. But I'm definitely not getting the coconut. I think it's overpowered by the chocolate. So, not bad, but yeah, I've only got 2 to go. So next are these Topper biscuits. It says they're chocolate cream flavored biscuits. These remind me of the biscuits that came in the UK pack that were a vanilla cream wafer. These look pretty much the same except chocolate this time. They're really pretty. Nice stamp design on it. Wishing I had a little milk. And it broke. They're really delicate. They're very fresh. So this is very different from a chocolate cream cookie that I would typically have here in the States. I tend to be an Oreo fan. This cookie is more of a milk chocolate than a dark chocolate. And I have to tell you, it kind of tastes like a hot chocolate would. It's got a lovely, lovely light crunch to it. It's fairly delicate, and the cream filling is a really nice balance. I don't think the cream filling is chocolate, but I honestly can't tell what it is. I think that the cream filling is just that. It's just kind of a creamy, plain flavor to balance out that chocolate. It does have a lovely balance. It's very nice. That just leaves us with the Nestle Milo bar. And I'm going to try to show you. This also looks like it might have a bit of an Aero type texture. It says Choco Malt in Milk Chocolate. Here's what the chocolate itself looks like. And then on the back, you can see bubbles and maybe the malt. So, Yep. It's got this really thin layer of malt at the very bottom. I don't know if this will show up on camera. It's just very, very thin at the very bottom there. And it gives it a little bit of a crunch. And then you have this lovely airy milk chocolate. It's nice. I think that wraps up this basket. I managed to get through, or box. I managed to get through this one pretty quick. I have to say my favorite thing, being a savory, crunchy snacker, are the flings. I really, really like those. I'm trying to think on the chocolate what my favorite chocolate might be, and I'm not real sure. But I definitely thought the cookies were good. Oh, and I really love these cheddar crackers too. I think after having the amazing, amazing chocolate from Italy, it's really hard to kind of come back and have more of an everyday chocolate. That stuff was just amazing. So these are all good. I guess the more snacky things and the cookies were my favorites this time. So did you get this box? Have you subscribed to anything? I haven't heard from any of you yet. I would love to know, what are you subscribing to or thinking about subscribing to? If you have subscribed, do you feel like what you subscribe to is worth it? And what's your favorite? Have you had any of these treats? So, long list of questions. I'd love to hear from you. Please do share your thoughts. And as always, if you like the video, please don't forget to give me the thumbs up. And as always, as well, please remember to subscribe and share with your friends. And until next time, when I see you in my kitchen,